Which AFC West player is under the most pressure?
Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is under the most pressure, in fact. And I know people are like, well, you think of him, I still sometimes call them the San Diego Chargers. But they're in LA now. And that's a huge media market. And Phillip Rivers and the Chargers last year, I thought, were the best team in the AFC. I mean, even, he had receivers dropping passes early. That's why they lost to the Chiefs, who were the best team, I thought, in the AFC. I mean, Tom Brady throws an interception to end the game, and then a whistle brings it back, and they wind up beating the Chiefs. But I thought the Chiefs were better than the Patriots. And I thought the Chargers were better than the Chiefs. But the way Phillip Rivers went out at Foxborough, you have maybe the best team you've ever been on. He's been on quite a few good teams. Both sides of the ball, just a well-balanced team, ready to win a championship, I thought, with a quarterback who came into the league with Eli and Roethlisberger, who both have 2. And you got none, in spite of the fact that you were consistently on teams at least as good as those 2, like maybe Roethlisberger, maybe a few more good ones. But Rivers, he's been on some bad ones, but mostly good ones. And you get there. It's not, you like the quotes today, right? I'm quoting a lot of.
You've been on fire.
Cypress Hill, I ain't going out like that. He went out like that. Like, you can't, it's one thing to lose. I used to get on Peyton Manning for choking under pressure. Because in the playoffs, he was like the best ever in the regular season. In the playoffs, he was a shell of himself, oftentimes. Well, you can't say that. He didn't have a defense. What's that got to do with putting up 0 points? Like, they were overwhelmed. The Chargers were overwhelmed at Foxborough. They didn't do anything on offense, and Rivers looked like a deer in headlights. Once again, many people are picking the Chargers. I'm not one of them because of the performance last year against the Patriots. Many people are picking the Chargers to win the division. It's going to go. It's going to go as far as Phillip Rivers takes them. And he choked under pressure last year in the playoffs. I hate to say it. He's an Iron Man. I root for him. I want him to win that championship. You just root for certain guys. You don't know why. Rivers is one of those guys for me. But I got to call it like I see it. There is enormous pressure on Rivers now. He'll never have a better chance. Or he will go down in history as that, he put up good numbers, never won that Super Bowl. It's Phillip Rivers.
I'm going Derek Carr. You want to talk about pressure. Let's rewind back the clock a little bit. We're talking about, remember in 2016, the season that Derek Carr, people were talking about MVP. Derek Carr was having an MVP-type season before he had the lower leg injury that ended his career. And that was the end of the Oakland Raiders season. That just ended everything right there. So now you enter in John Gruden. Okay, they gave Derek Carr that big contract. I believe it was like $125 million. Okay, he's a franchise guy. I mean, he's just over the past couple of years, he's just going on to be a floundering quarterback at best at this point. So what has John Gruden done? Okay, since he's come aboard, he goes out, gets Mercurial, wide receiver, and Antonio Brown. You can say what you want to say about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is the best wide receiver of this generation. Okay, he has been that good. There's no question about it. He goes out. He also gets Tyrell Williams from the Los Angeles Chargers to be that complimentary number 2 wide receiver. They go out. They draft Josh Jacobs, running back out of Alabama, who has 0 tread on his tire. This dude is going to be a beast in the league. You sign a left tackle from New England, Trent Brown. Okay, so if you're Derek Carr, or if you're the front office and you're looking at the situations like, okay, man, we've put everything around you. Like, there's really no excuse.
We got the blindside protection. We got the guy to throw the ball to who likes the ball where you like to throw it.
We got a running back that can pound people now, okay? And not even to mention guys that they brought in on the defensive side of football. So if you're Derek Carr right now.
And coach is not exactly giving you a vote of confidence either.
No, he's not, okay? And just looking at it from a macro perspective, they're moving to Las Vegas, okay? You think they're going to take a quarterback with them to Las Vegas that's not going to have a bounce back year? They have 2 first-round picks. They're going to control the draft next year. So if you're looking at the Oakland Raiders, you're thinking at one guy, Derek Carr, can you put it together in order to travel with this team to Las Vegas? Because if he doesn't get it done this year, it's a wrap for him in Oakland.
You're not only saying that he has pressure, you're saying he's on the hot seat this season.
Oh, there's no there's an inferno going on in Oakland right now. There's no excuse for him this year.
There's a lot of pressure on Derek Carr. There's no question about it. He went from a guy. Is he an MVP? Is he's the the Andrew Luck was the young guy, and between
we were talking about
between
him in that,
Luck and Wentz. Just like now it's Mahomes, right?
Oh, yeah.
It makes them all look not as good. But between Luck and Wentz, Carr was the guy who maybe he's the guy. He's fallen a long way. But to me, he's really still at the can he be a franchise quarterback, or is he merely a starting quarterback, or is he a backup quarterback? But he'll have a job in the NFL if he wants one. He's already gotten his money. Carr got paid.
He did.
And we're really talking about what will his job description be, and there's pressure there. Phillip Rivers, it's not even an issue of that anymore. We know what he is. But what can he be? Can Phillip Rivers be that, what a championship does for a guy with Rivers' numbers? Rivers has the toughness, the leadership. He's put up the superstar numbers throughout his whole career. He looks like on paper, like a first ballot Hall of Famer. But we wouldn't remember Elway. I made the point yesterday. Had he not won the 2 championships at the end, we would the guys who don't win. Drew Brees, take the championship away from Drew Brees, and what's the difference between him and Phillip Rivers, really? Right now, by the way, they made their choice. They chose Phillip Rivers over Drew Brees.
Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yes,
he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
We don't talk about him like the Drew Breeses of the world, do we? And what's the real difference? They chose him over Brees. They had them both. Did they make a mistake? Yes or no? How will Rivers be remembered? His whole legacy, it's riding on a championship. He'll be remembered as an excellent player, no question about it. But I'm talking about for the rest of your life, how really the kind of conversations people have about you. That's pressure, bro.
Well, let me ask you a question. As far as career is concerned, would you take Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning?
Eli Manning.
Really?
Easy.
Why?
Because he won not just 2 Super Bowls, but 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Look, I'm a Giants fan. We had Rivers.
He had moments.
Hold up.
Wouldn't you say that's really the thing about when we talk about Eli Manning? He's had moments.
Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.